Steps from coast to coast. As you mentioned there, California, the most aggressive we are seeing. And as you mentioned in your open there, putting pressure on the U.S. dollar, 40 million residents stay in place order. Here in New York State, Governor Andrew Cuomo is saying most non-essential staff needs to stay home. About 75% of businesses should be working from home. Nara, you and I are both in offices, but behind the scenes, we know lots of producers, directors are actually staying at home. So we are abiding by this. And then, of course, the American State Department, in the most unprecedented move I have seen ever, level 4 for travel advisory. That means, Nara, do not travel. It covers the entire world. This level 4 is usually reserved for countries within a state of war.
Thursday, April 9th, 2020, they are installing a 5G mast right outside the front of San Diego High School. I've been coming down here every few days to see if they're going to start doing this, and it looks like today's the day.
The real reason people are burning down 5G towers. People are saying coronavirus is a cover-up for 5G. An increasing number of conversations on and offline have claimed to find insidious links between the rollout of 5G networks and coronavirus. Claims suggesting that COVID-19 serves as a cover-up for health hazards of 5G, or that the technology itself suppresses the immune system. In the UK, the situation further intensified after reports that at least one phone mast was suspected to have been deliberately set on fire. Network provider EE told Euronews in an email that its engineers were currently assessing the cause of a blaze at a mast in Birmingham that had caused significant damage. Lives are precious, and these material things are destroying life. Shame on government knowing what is going on in the world, but keeping quiet and blaming rats and bats in China.
First of all, as I've reported quite a bit, there are really not pandemic levels of people getting sick and dying from whatever's going on. The numbers are far less than a typical flu season. However, there clearly are some people who are getting sick. What I believe is causing this illness is that there is some kind of insult that occurs that causes the damage, and then there is a reaction to it, which is the production of exosomes. And when we are testing for this supposed virus, we are actually testing for these exosomes, which confirms that there's some kind of unhealthy process going on in the body. Now, I talked about the things that can cause production of the exosomes, and I believe that those represent the cause of the illness. And I think that the possibilities are that there is some kind of poison. Certainly, there's lots of precedent for a pneumonia-type illness coming from inhalation of toxic substances. There could be the stress and fear could be the cause. It could represent a regular flu or pneumonia or even a bad cold, and whatever causes those would be the same cause. And lastly, electromagnetic radiation could certainly be a cause as well. There has been a major proliferation and installation of new 5G infrastructure. And there's certainly evidence known that 5G can have adverse effects on one's health, including damaging DNA. And that evidence actually comes from Los Alamos National Laboratories when they've studied microwave and radiation like they use in the body scanners in the airport. And I think it's quite possible that there is not one toxic exposure, but there could be different causes of this illness in different areas, or perhaps even in the same area between different people, that this may not be a uniform cause of the illness, but it does cause a similar constellation of upper respiratory symptoms. And these symptoms are not extremely specific. All of these illnesses, I could list off probably 20 different illnesses that would cause a cough, possible shortness of breath, a fever, and suppress your white count. So there could be several different causes of this, but I do not see any conclusive evidence whatsoever that there is any virus.